Hi, David.
Hey, Easy, and welcome to Sips Across the Sea.
Hey, we're
We're
back.
back. Yep. It's September, getting a bit chilly outside, getting a bit
Yeah.
blowy. Hurricane season's upon us.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. But
Oh, yeah.
luckily, here it is actually getting nicely cool right now. It's not cold yet, but it's low 90s during the day, but in the evening it's actually getting into the 60s, so the mornings are pretty nice.
Lovely. Cool
Yeah.
and refreshing.
Yeah.
But we've got some sunshine in the glass today.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the screwdriver.
Nice.
That classic cocktail, if you can call it a cocktail. It's,
Mixed drink?
well, mixed drink for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, for the Basil Fawlties out there, we're not asking for the tool. We're asking for that mix of vodka and orange juice.
That's right.
And the earliest, the
Oh.
Baltimore Sun, May 23rd, 1943. And there's some discussion about these Americans that had been interred in Ankara in Turkey
Hmm.
during the Second World War. I mean, the Second World War was still going on at this point. It mentions that Allied internees, and they were being returned to their bases. And it says the Americans, over 20 of them, hailed from every part of the Union: Washington State, New York, Minnesota, Texas, and they invented their own drink: pure vodka and orange juice mixed, which they called screwdriver. And then subsequently, this has become quite popular in the bars in Ankara. But there were people, if you wanted a drink and you couldn't decide, they go, screwdriver, and that's what people had. Vodka quite popular there, as was cognac, because very hard to get whiskey. I think some reference that a glass of whiskey was $3.50 back in 1943, which I haven't
Yeah,
got
that
an
sounds
inflation calculator on me, but that's
sounds hefty.
pretty pricey. Pretty pricey. There, they talk about a 50-50 mix. I spoke to a few different people, our friends Steph DiCamillo and SJ, who worked in bars and pubs and stuff over
Hmm.
many years. And there's some variation potentially
Yeah.
on what you would have there, and partly on what you're using as well. What's the orange juice that you're using, which is the bit that I'm going to start with. So I'm going to get my orange juice out of the fridge here.
Okay. Yeah. So I was, this is not regular drink in my repertoire. So I, tried to look, and like you mentioned, I found the 50-50 recipe. I found 2-1, 3-1, 5-1. Um, and so I ended up settling on 3-1, which I guess is the standard that used to be in the international bartenders something or other. There's this like guide for international
Yeah,
drinks.
yeah.
And so apparently the screwdriver is no longer in the IBS or whatever.
How will people know how to make it?
Well,
The fools.
yeah, I think they figure it's probably fallen off enough that it's just not necessary. So anyway, but according to what I found, the old standard for them was 3-1. So I was like, all right, I'll try that. So that's what I.
So that was what Steph had mentioned. She'd mentioned that if it was fresh juice,
Hmm.
freshly squeezed juice, probably it would be 2-1. Um, if it was canned or frozen or like from concentrate, a bit more juice
Okay.
in there. So this is I've just done, and I'm serving this in a sort of small wine glass, which was I think for pubs certainly in the UK, if they were being served, this is what it would have been served in. I think there's a famous scene in Faulty Towers where the American and his wife
Yeah.
um, come in. The Waldorf salad is the scene, but the first bit is about the screwdriver. And I'm trying to. I only watched it like an hour ago. I think it's a similar sort of maybe like a slightly more V-shaped glass, not a full martini glass, but it's kind of that sort of thing. Yeah,
Yeah, it looked like it looked kind of like the mug that they use for the Irish coffee, but like without the handle.
yeah. That sort
So
of Georgian sort of goblet. stemmed goblet
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's that. Yeah, like a deep V.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just tried that. To me, that is a bit punchy.
Sorry,
So
which one? Which one was this?
that was the equal parts.
Equal parts.
Uh,
Yeah, I that seems a bit strong to me.
it was equal parts with the freshly squeezed orange juice, which I squeezed on my electric squeezer. It wasn't my USB one, but it was my electric one. I do have a USB one that works very well, despite people such as Easy mocking it when I purchased it from Target for $5.
It just amazes me that it has enough horsepower to like get the juice.
Oh yeah, the one I've got I was using today, I inherited, and that like if you press too hard, it like starts turning the other way, so it doesn't like wear the motor out or something.
Oh, all right.
Some little gadgety gizmo in there. So what I'm doing here now, for those that are at home because they can't see because it's a podcast, is I'm just with the fresh juice here. I'm just making some different variations. So I've got a 2-to-1 here, and I've got a 3-to-1. 2-to-1's not bad. I mean, a lot of this is going to depend on the orange juice that you can get and the oranges that you can get. And I'm sure that the oranges that we can get here in the UK are not the same as you can get in many other places where they actually grow.
Right.
And then I left the pulp in as well. I don't know. How do you stand? Where do you stand on pulp, usually?
I don't mind the pulp. So like I went to the grocery store last night to pick up some orange juice, and was like I said, I don't usually buy orange juice. It's not a regular part of what we get. So I was kind of amazed at the options. There's no pulp, there's some pulp, and there's more pulp. And I was just like, can I just have whatever the amount is that comes with the orange? Like I don't need artificially less or more. I just need the pulpy normal amount that comes from
Zero
juicing
waste.
oranges. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seemed very odd. So I ended up finding a jug of orange juice from Florida, here in Florida, local oranges. So I was like, oh, well, I'll do that. And it didn't say anything about more or less pulp. It has some pulp. So I was like, I'll do that.
Yeah. To me, tasting against those three with the fresh oranges, I've just tasted the orange juice on its own.
Mm-hmm.
It's not brilliant. Like the oranges I could get were not fantastic. The 3-to-1 does seem to be the mix of these ones. Anyway, maybe if I had more succulent oranges, it would be
right.
It would be better. But for where we are at the moment, I think the 3-to-1 is probably where I would go to.
All right.
So, speaking of Tropicana, I got two bits here, which is the smooth orange with no bits.
Yeah.
And the original orange with juicy bits. That's what you were looking for, wasn't it? You wanted the juicy bits.
Yeah, just original, like orange juice that has pulp in it.
Not
I
for the
more pulp.
Not the ones that's for the kiddies. Well, if they take the pulp out easy, they got to put that pulp somewhere. So some people have extra pulp. They're just like straining it through their teeth as they're drinking it.
Yeah.
I think the goblet is a nice choice for this drink. You don't want a really big screwdriver. For my one part, I was doing about 35 mils or an ounce, something like that. And then, so for my 3-to-1, that's a 4-ounce drink. It's not too big. Because there is acid there and there's alcohol and, it's not something you want to have a huge amount of. I don't think, anyway. But it's a nice little fresh drink. Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing. Like, some of the recipes I looked at, there were like 6 ounces of orange juice to 2 ounces of vodka. You're just like, that's a big drink,
Yeah.
So,
and it's not. The other thing is that they're just added.
Yeah.
Which is something I've just realised with the one I've just drunk now. So you need to stir it. We're not stirring it with ice or shaking it. I mean, you could shake it, I guess. But if you're putting the ice in a glass, or if you're making this for someone at home and you're serving it, ideally you want to serve it with either a straw or a little swizzle stick or something,
Right.
something so that people can kind of play with it a bit and
Yeah.
get a little bit of dilution, but also mix it thoroughly. Because otherwise, if you don't, you're not gonna get a great mix. I would
Right.
argue to put the vodka in first. You might think, oh, it doesn't really matter. When I just made these two, I put the orange juice in first, and then I put in the vodka, and the vodka just sat on the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I hadn't stirred it. So you got to think about these things. Even for a two ingredient cocktail, you can muck it up.
Yeah, that's true.
So of these two, one's the pulp, one's the not. I'm not really getting much difference at all.
Hmm.
But what I noticed with the bottled versus the fresh is there's a lot more acidity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That really seems to be the thing that we get here. There's a lot more. I think the one with the pulp is a little bit nicer. It just seems a little bit softer than the other one. And then I've got this stuff, which is the orange juice from concentrate. This is smooth. I didn't buy this, but this is the smooth one. Trying to look at the. This has got till the 10th of October, 2025 on it. This one.
Oh, okay.
Not a huge amount, but it's got some time.
Mm-hmm.
I've only very rarely seen actual like frozen orange juice here. You know, like in bricks that you then have to defrost yourself. Did you still get it over there in the US?
Is
that frozen orange juice report still as important as it was, where millions are made and lost?
I don't know. So a lot has changed in the world of frozen concentrated orange juice in the US. So, in the 80s and 90s, like that was big business. But sometime in the mid 90s, very early 2000s, somewhere in there was like a whole series of deep freezes in Florida, and orange trees do not like freezes. And then now there's this greening thing happening in Florida and in Brazil and all over place. I can't remember if it's a bacteria or a pest.
It is. And it stops it from growing, I think, is what happens. Something like that.
Yeah. So basically, the oranges don't fully mature, and so then you don't get as much sweetness.
They're very bitter. They're smaller and bitter. I think that's what I had read.
Yeah. So as a kid, we bought quite a bit of that frozen orange juice concentrate. They came in these like little cardboard cans, basically, and you pop the lid off, you dump it into the pitcher, add water, mix it up, and Bob's your uncle. But I haven't bought one of those in forever. Your face tells me the frozen concentrate is not the way to go.
It's really, really quite terrible. Okay, it's not going to help because we started with the fresh, then we moved to like the nicer, like the chilled stuff, and then we've gone to like the stuff that doesn't need to be chilled. It's so acidic.
Mm-hmm.
It's so unpleasant. Like you need to probably add some water to it, or like really get some dilution to make it palatable. It's quite incredible.
Well, if you add water, it's less calories, right?
Yeah, that's it. The 50-50. This is, I think, this is why they get, going back to the Fawlty Towers episode, why when the American, this guy, he and bearing in mind he's paid Basil Fawlty, I don't know what it is, 10, 20 quid, something like that, to keep the kitchen open because they've arrived late, and the chef has gone off to his martial arts class, something like that. So he's trying to cook it all himself, classic con that he's trying to do that.
Right.
And the bloke almost spits it out when he tastes it, and you can see why. Those that have got fillings, it does kind of get you a little bit in the back.
Yeah.
So maybe this is why, and this is a topic for a different episode that we will be covering. Maybe this is why someone put some Galliano in there to try and make it taste a bit nicer.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, I would imagine that part of the reason for the acidity is to help it be more stable,
Yeah,
right?
the preservative.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, and this is no rubbish. This is Marks and Spencers I've got here.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, this is just it's pasteurized orange juice from concentrate. I mean, I don't think that there's a load of stuff added to it. I think that that's. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
ingredients. That's what's in it. It just happens to seem
Well, that's
to.
a yeah. I mean, that's the thing. They concentrate it, which means all the acid and sugar and juice stays behind, but they get rid of the water and then they add more water back, and it's probably not enough.
Yeah, or it's just yeah, it's sort of not shocked it, but do you know what I mean? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not cohesive in its
Yeah.
blending, perhaps. So,
Yeah.
so I think if
So
you're in the UK and
yeah.
you want a nice screwdriver, ideally squeeze them yourself. It's not that hard. Even if you had like one of the just like a juicer where you have your hat like it's not even electric and you just have to squeeze it.
Mm-hmm.
I got four oranges that were about the size of baseballs, roughly that,
Yeah.
and that got me about half a bottle. If you think of like a wine bottle, like half a full size wine bottle, but half a
Yeah.
wine bottle of orange juice.
Yeah. So it's like 12
Do you?
ounces.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I think it was like 375. I think is the measurement.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, whatever. Like a half. It was only because I put it in a half bottle of champagne to bottle it. So that's how I know how much I had. So
Yeah.
half bottle of champagne from four baseball sized oranges. Not bad.
Yeah.
I knew four drinks. I would have thought. So that's the orange juice discussed
Yeah.
in
So
great
I
detail.
decided to go the opposite way. So like I said earlier, I bought just Florida orange juice with pulp, nothing added or subtracted. And so I decided to go with some different vodka bases for
As
my
you're in Florida, that would make sense for you to do the vodka, and for me in the UK to do the orange juice.
right, exactly. So I decided to make a couple of different ones. So I pre-batched them. Like I said, I did 3-to-1 orange juice to vodka. And so I just picked some off of my shelf. Um, and what I noticed is they're actually the vodkas I picked are kind of gradually increasing in character, I would say.
Ah, okay.
The first one is a wheat vodka from France and fairly neutral, but then the last one is a vodka made from stone fruit in California, and it has
Ah,
quite a bit of character. I
is that a
did
Is that Grey Goose, the one that you've got your first one?
no, it's a Naud Naud.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, very nice. Very good
Yeah.
vodka.
Yeah, so this is from wheat, 100% French wheat. So I just gave mine a little quick stir again because the ice has melted a little bit, so
In
I'm ready
your
to be
Kettle One glass for those at home.
packed. Shh. No mentioning brands.
Not the JVS show. No
That's true.
company names.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it tastes like, the ice has been in this for a while, so there's some dilution. It basically tastes like watered down orange juice slightly. It's sweet. There's very little acidity. Um, and I mean, there's some, but it's not bracing in any way. And you get the very faintest hint of the like alcohol flavor, but that's really it. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Hmm. That's why when with some of the stories, like the origin stories of the drink, there's like some talk about like people just using like general neutral spirit that they might have knocking around,
Right.
and I'm like, oh, I can really see that. I
Yeah.
can see how that
I
might
mean,
work.
this is the thing. It's like you want vodka. So this is one of the interesting things. One of the stories that I came across was in like Newsweek or something in the late 40s was about people in a bar at night, and it was like this mix of Turkish intelligence and army engineers and other people drinking, and they were enjoying this drink that they had discovered called the
Yeah.
screwdriver, which the Americans had kind of invented as this mixture of orange juice and vodka. And I found it curious that it was that people were drinking it at night, and because I'm just like, I don't know. Here in the U.S., orange juice is so ingrained as like a breakfast drink.
Wake up with your
That
sunshine.
Yeah, and so and like in the episode of Faulty Towers, they order the screwdrivers at night.
Yeah.
Um, and the American guy first orders scotch and water and then changes it to a screwdriver, and I'm just like, those are two very different things. But
They
um,
are. And also, like, because and as we discussed in the program, it's late at night by that point.
yeah, yeah,
By that point, so it's at least like I think it's like at least like 8 o'clock, maybe not closer to 9 by this point,
yeah.
because they what is it that he says? They couldn't find the highway; they had to use this little country lane called the M4 to get down there, or something like that. Which,
Yeah,
for those who
so
don't know, is a major motorway in the
yeah.
UK.
So I could totally see this as a, brunch drink, like if you're
Yeah,
out having brunch rather than like a mimosa, right?
and
You
like how
know,
people have Bucks Fizz, similar
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of thing.
So
Yeah.
this is the next one, but as a nighttime drink, I'm just like, wow,
The
I
acid,
don't quite get.
the acid,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially if you have acid reflux
right?
issues, like yeah.
As I'm sure many listeners do.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the next one. This one is a Scottish vodka from Potatoes. I believe it's Scottish. Yeah, Scotland.
Is this which brand is this? Oh yeah, Arbiki. Arbiki. Oh yes,
Arbiki.
very good. And they also do one that's based on peas, like garden peas, like
Yeah,
green
yeah,
peas.
yeah.
But good stuff.
I actually like this one a little bit better. I feel like the sweetness is slightly enhanced.
Huh.
You don't get the like the ethanol, like the with the wheat vodka, like there was this clear like wheat ethanol note that came right
Yep.
through the orange juice. Whereas with this potato one, it's not there at all. It just tastes like orange juice.
Interesting. I'll have to experiment about that.
And the Arbiki is pretty neutral, though there is a little bit of character that you get from
Yeah,
the potato.
it's neutral, but there's a good classic
Yeah.
like potato backbone to it. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it has, which I think is
Yeah.
quite nice.
All right. So then the next one I got is a cane based vodka from
This I'm really intrigued by because I could kind of see like rum and orange juice. So I've
right.
high
Yeah.
hopes for this.
So this one is actually made very close to me here in Florida. So this
Oh,
is Spirited Crew, Rollins Distilling in Gulf Breeze, Florida, which is about an hour from me, depending on how you drive.
How quickly you
And
drive, you mean?
well, how quickly? There's a couple of different routes, but
Oh, okay.
so anyway, but their cane vodka I really enjoy, but it's got definitely some more character to it. So let me try this. Ooh, yeah, I like that. That's good.
Does it seem slightly rummy or not?
Yeah, slightly rummy. I mean, that's the thing. When you drink the vodka on its own, there's a rum essence. It's not rum because obviously of how it's distilled, but like it's not too far off from like Bacardi White in the Puerto
And by
Rican
that you
version.
mean it has the sort of the essence of rum as opposed to an essence being added, just for clarity.
Yeah, the essence of rum. Because like in the Puerto Rican Bacardi is distilled up to like 180 something proof. It's virtually neutral, but not quite. So anyway, this is kind of in that range. I like this one.
Esprit de rum.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely so not the sweetness, but the fruitiness of the orange is enhanced. So it's nice. It's actually doesn't taste as sweet, but it tastes more fruity, which is fun.
Yeah.
It has more dimension to the fruitiness,
Yeah. Okay.
which I like that. That's good. Okay, and then the last one, like I said, this is a vodka made in California from upcycled stone fruit. So basically, it's
Oh.
fruit that would have gone to waste for, um, grocery stores, and they
Yep.
decided instead to make it into vodka. Um, it doesn't say what kind of stone fruit. Might be a mix. I don't know. So anyway, let me try this.
I imagine it probably would be.
Yeah, you taste it, and it actually kind of dominates the orange, which is interesting.
And you went for these are all 3-1, did you say?
All 3 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the fruitiness definitely comes through, but it doesn't quite work with the orange. It's not bad, but it's not as good as the cane one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean out of the three, or excuse me, out of the four, my favorites are the Arbiki and the Rollins Distilling. Those
Yeah.
two, because I feel like they work better with the orange juice. So in that regard, I think I wouldn't say it's so much the base necessarily as much as the vodka itself. Because
Yeah, but it can make a big. I mean, evidently can
yeah,
make a big difference, right? I mean, if you
yeah,
want
yeah,
play it safe, go for a grain.
right,
But I've actually just this is not a vodka, but it's that Remy Eau de Vie. You know
mm,
that like the unaged, like an
yeah,
unaged cognac.
like Blanche, yeah,
Yeah, I thought I'd try that. I mean, and not distilled to as high ABV, of course, these vodkas, but it's quite a pleasant drink. But it's more challenging, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So whereas I feel like the grain, and I get the sense of maybe with the potato and the cane, that was just like a
yeah,
nice way to get your vitamin C. Uh,
right. Fight off
I,
that scurvy.
I do think, and probably that's why they had, you say about the scurvy, and that, probably that's why they had this access to orange juice when they were in
Right,
these internment, well,
right.
in Turkey. It probably would make sense. Um, I do feel that it is a drink that benefits from the dilution, a bit of the ice melt. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you make one really fresh and you drink it, usually when you come back, the second or third sip is much nicer than the first sip. I find just
Yeah,
because. So that's why I think it really should be served with a little stir or something. So
right.
then, as the individual, you can kind of cater to your needs. I feel the same about the White Russian. Like that has to have a stirrer with it. Like I want to
Right.
be able to. Some people like it stronger. Some people like it more dilute, and I want to be able to control that dilution myself by having a little stirrer. And it's just something to play with. But it's kind of there's been a bit of a move away from that because like a lot of the stuff was plastic
Right.
and
The
all this kind
waste
of
and
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, you can get wooden ones and things like that. But there's
Yeah.
definitely something to be said for certain drinks having that sort of not interesting, not an old fashioned. I don't think because I think like the old fashioned's been mixed and then it's there and you have it.
Right.
But certain things where maybe they're more built freshly, probably freshly. You didn't have freshly squeezed, but probably
No.
freshly squeezed with a cane or a potato is kind of the watchword to
Yeah.
look out. But grain's a
Yeah.
good kind of standard.
Yeah.
Um, but who would have thought that we could spend so long talking about a two
Yeah.
ingredient cocktail that's not the martini?
Right. Yeah.
And I also kind of feel if in doubt, maybe go a bit longer.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
I,
Yeah.
I think
Equal parts, 2 to 1. I think those are probably just too strong.
yeah, this is going back to one of our favourite topics, the highball. This is one of the
Yeah.
or the whiskey soda. This is definitely one of the things that I picked up speaking to different people when they talk about. Well, I don't really like a whiskey soda. I don't, and it was the fact that really what they've been having was maybe 2 parts whiskey, 1 part soda, or 50-50, or 2-to-1. And it's kind of like,
Yeah.
no, don't make it like how you'd make your gin and tonic. longer.
Yeah, I mean, on that vein, I mean, this is veering off topic, but I mean, that's probably part of the reason why I'm not crazy about old fashions, is because I'm just drinking them too fast. So
Yeah,
they're not evolving, they're not diluting, they're just like, it's strong, it's a little bit sweet, right? It's not really all put together in the way if you just left it, or if you had a little stir to like speed up the dilution a little bit.
yeah.
um yeah, I mean, that might be part of my problem with the old fashioned, because I generally build them. I don't when I'm at home, if I'm ever making it, I don't generally make it in a stirring glass and then pour it over the ice.
This drink, which is the Tropicana Smooth Orange, I felt like tasting them again. The smooth versus the bits. The smooth is slightly sweeter. There we
Okay.
go. It's the kiddies orange juice. But having that with the Remy Eau de Vie, and then I added a little zhuzh of sparkling water, and that's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the bubbles kind of bring forth more of that sort of floral element and the fruity sort of stone
Yeah.
fruit element of the grape, the unaged grape brandy as it is,
Mm-hmm.
and it works quite well with the orange juice. I think I wouldn't have it really as a straight screwdriver, and I know like it's kind of a brandy and it well regardless, but
Yeah.
actually with that little zhuzh, just lengthening it that little bit and that little bit of sparkle, that's worked quite nicely.
Well, I'm glad we got to talk about the screwdriver. This is definitely not something I usually think about, so this was kind of a fun.
And we will come back and discuss the Harvey Wallbanger and all of the weird spin-offs, sort of saucy cocktails where they're like,
Right.
oh, a slow, comfortable screw or slow, comfortable screw Mexican style and all these other silly...
Under the sheets and
Under
against the
the
wall.
sheets and against the wall and
Yeah.
on top of the bedstead, behind the wardrobe.
Yeah. Yeah, just keep adding ingredients. Oh, this is just an idea. Since you have so much blue curacao, maybe you should try to work that in.
Yeah, like, so no one else knows. But yeah, currently got at least 6 bottles of blue curacao knocking around the place
Yeah.
for one reason or another. But I think we should have a blue curacao episode.
Probably.
A big taste.
Yeah.
Let the people decide on the blue curacao.
The people
yes,
are demanding it.
Yeah, I think that you linked me to in their video, and they had in their very fancy Harvey Wallbanger, they added lemon juice and they added
Orange curacao.
So you could easily add blue, and then it would be that lovely sort of Kermit the Frog or Yoda's swamp color.
Yeah.
Call it the Dagobah.
Yeah, the color is probably not going to be great, but it might taste good.
Well, on that bombshell, we'll say please subscribe if you don't subscribe, because that's what everyone says, and they're like, isn't it interesting that like 70% of the people that listen to our podcast haven't subscribed? So please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button. It's free.
I think at this point it's 99%, but please do.
And we'll see you again to the next one.
All right. See you, David.
Cheers, CC.
Bye.